Thank you all for coming to this court-case Hooray for Justice. In total, it will be about an hour and 5 minutes long, including a 10-minute intermission.
Because this is a live court case, phones and other cellular devices must be turned off.
And no flash photography.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Logan-Magnolia, your host and commentator for the Outside Edition. Our investigative reporters bring you live. It's the most sensational trial of the century in the case of the County of Logan versus Percival S. Wolf. This is definitely real. The legends in this story are not actors. They have agreed for a 6-figure price to settle their dispute in our studio courtroom. Mr. Wolf has just entered with his attorney, Becky Padlock. That is Padlock from Padlock and Key Associates. As you know, he stands accused of the attempted murder and malicious wounding of Humpty R. Dumpty. Miss Humpty has just entered with Mary Payson. That is Mary Payson, the toughest prosecutor in all of Logan. Now let's watch as the trial commences.
All rise. The Honorable Wilhelm Grimm presiding. Here comes the judge.
Now, you may all take your seat. As defendant of this case, how does your client plead?
Innocent, His Honor!
Now, are you ready for your opening statement, Miss Payson?
Yes, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I beg of you, look at my client. Imagine how she feels. She was minding her own business as she sat upon the wall, when all of a sudden she was pushed from behind and took a terrible fall. She knew she was going to be cracked and scrambled. Imagine how she panicked with terror as she fell. I intend to prove that Wolf did indeed plan this attack. He premeditated, he postulated, he cogitated, and he contemplated how to kill and make Hump crack. And in conclusion, I will prove that he is of ill repute and not only had the means but the motive to make this horrendous crime.
Thank you, Miss Payson.
And furthermore...
You play fair. It is not your turn. Now, are you ready for your own opening statement?
I know it's here. Just give me a sec.
Come on, we're waiting.
I found it. Guys and dolls of the jury, I aim to show you that my cousin here, who is really a nice guy, is getting a bum rap for something he did not do. I am going to prove that he is totally innocent of the perpetration of this here crime.
Is that it? Are you perfectly sure? Well then, do you have your first witness prepared?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to call Dorky Pate to the stand.
Raise your right hook. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
State your name.
Dorky Pig.
Mr. Pig, would you tell us what you were doing on, let's say, July 22nd?
Well, I woke up around 6 o'clock in the morning. I crossed to the restroom.
Okay, let's cut to the quick. Were you at, let's say, 12 noon on the day in question?
Well, I was on my way to get to my brother's house before the sun fried my bacon.
And why, pray tell, were you going to your brother's house?
Ever since my house was destroyed, I've been staying at the YPCA. Sent some food out to Wise lousy. I've been going to my brother Elmer's house every day for lunch.
You say your house was destroyed? Just when did this happen?
About 10 years ago, this creepy critter came to my door, said he was selling aluminum siding. Said it's a Hooray on the side of my straw house. When I denied, he tried to sweet talk me into it. He said he'd like to go for lunch, said he'd like to have pork chops. When I denied again, he huffed and puffed and blew my house to kingdom come.
Is the salesman in the room right now?
I think that's him over there.
I object. This is irrelevant. He's not even talking about today's case.
Your
And
Honor.
how can he be sure it's the same wolf after 10 years?
Your Honor, I'm merely trying to get a prior reputation of the wolf's bad reputation.
Overruled. The prosecutor has a point.
Wolf, hey, sorry. When you got to the wall, what did you see?
Yolk.
I beg your pardon?
Yolk. Yolk. I was covered in this yucky, wiggly stuff that was soft boiled. It was in my hair, my eyes, my clothes. Yuck, disgusting. And my head was so bad I must have been knocked out for quite a while.
When you came to, what did you see?
Well, I saw some king's men administering crusade and trying to put Dumpty back together again. And I saw one waving her wand like crazy. Some little men, Goose running around and screaming at the top of her lungs. And yeah, Wolf was at the scene.
No further questions.
So, Doc, how are you?
Okay, yes.
Good. So, you have testified that when you sat up after the accident, your head was and you were covered with yuck. Is that right?
Yes?
Would you describe to me what the king's men were wearing when you looked up?
Yellow and white. Their uniforms are yellow and white.
And the goose?
The same. Yellow and white.
And the fairy godmother?
Yellow and white.
And the accused who you claim was lurking near the pantry?
I'm not sure.
Come on, Doc! Did you see the wolf? Or didn't you?
I thought I did.
Then surely you can identify the colors he was wearing.
Yellow and white.
Judge, the three witnesses in question are here today. I have asked them to wear what they wore on the 22nd. I'd like them to stand up for a minute. Doc, you have testified that when you came to, you were covered with yellow. Could it be, Doc, that the reason they were all wearing yellow and white was because you had egg in your face and could not, in fact, see much at all? Your Honor, if this Doc, a pig, couldn't see clearly, how could he positively identify my cousin, let alone anyone else at the scene? He had egg on his face then, and he has egg on his face now.
Point well taken.
I got no further questions.
You may take your seat, Mr. Payson.
Now, take a hike, you dork.
Now, Miss Payson, do you have your next witness prepared?
I would like to call some little soldier. He and some of his men were practicing maneuvers near the vicinity of the wall at the time of the fall.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
State your name.
Winter Soldier, ma'am.
I can't hear you!
Winter Soldier, ma'am.
Now stand, Captain.
Captain,
Yes, ma'am.
You have sworn to tell the truth.
I have sworn to tell the truth.
When did your man get to the wall?
Just in time to see him fall.
What then?
Egg broke.
Describe the scene.
Lots of yolk. Then I'm trying to put him back together again.
Your Honor, jury, and the rest, this man surely is the best.
Slowly march into the fray, try to fulfill the day.
so I called the fairy godmother. She does well with pumpkins, mice, dresses. I thought she could help.
Was there anything unusual at the scene?
There was a stick lying near the egg, ma'am.
Is this the stick you saw?
It appears so, ma'am.
And what do you see on the end here?
It appears to be dried yolk.
Your Honor, I took the liberty of having the lab dust this for paw prints. They match those of the accused. I have a theory that the wolf used this stick to push my client off the wall by pushing his party.
Let the record show this as Exhibit A.
Captain, you have recently received a medal of honor. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you tell the court what this for?
About a year ago, the king's new wife, a vain, evil woman, told me to kill her stepdaughter and bring her heart. Knowing this was wrong and unjust, I brought the queen and animal hearts instead, and let the girl go deep into the woods.
So you earn this commendation and recognition for your honesty and truthfulness.
Yes, ma'am.
I object. This man's achievements have nothing to do with this trial.
Sustained. We should assume that because he is under oath, he is already telling the truth.
Captain, did you by chance see Mr. Wolf at the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
And you recognized him?
Yes, ma'am. I've been his arresting officer once before.
Would you explain further?
About 10 years ago, we arrested him of thievery, vandalism, and accosting young girls and stealing their goodies.
Quite a long line. What did you do?
Well, you see, ma'am, we went in pursuit of the suspect. We caught up to him at Peach Cheek Ranch. Well, while Mary and her sister Beau distracted him, we caught them, read him his rights, and took him to the dungeon.
Thank you, Captain. No further questions.
Would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Nah, you can go on to the next one.
Well then, you may take your seat, Mr. Soldier. Now, do you have your next witness?
I'd like to call the godmother.
Name, madam?
Linda, godmother, dearie.
Do you swear to tell?
Oh, yes, yes. I'll tell you everything, sweet cake.
So, Wanda. 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 Wanda!
Yes, sweet?
When you got to the wall, what did you do?
Well, first I took out my wand. I can't work without my music now. And I turned up the volume and checked out the egg. She was a real mess, all right. She must have been hard to get scrambled like that.
Objection! The witness is speculating.
Sustained. Just answer the question.
Okay. It was hot out and she was starting to fret, so I set to work.
What exactly did you do?
Well, first, I tried my best magic spell. One handed down from my great godmother.
And how does that go?
Alakazam, Alakazam. Go back together, 1, 2, 3.
And did that work?
No. So, I tried one I got from my cousin Linda. I got her some wish in the Emerald City.
And how does that one go?
Give me an H.
H.
Give me an H.
H. Give me an E.
E.
Give me an A.
A.
Give me an L.
L.
What was that spell?
Horse.
No. Heal. The spell spells heal. It commands her to herself with her mind. What's the spell?
Heal. Heal.
Now you got it.
Did that work?
No.
So, what did you do?
So I got on my special fairy dance. A recipe handed down from my Aunt Tinkerbell, and began to say the most magical of all of my spells.
And how does that one go?
I changed vices of horses into straw into gold, pumpkins, coaches, and young into old. Your life is in shambles, you've fallen apart. I'll wave my wand and start your heart. I turned queens into witches and puppets to boys, telling me princesses and sadness of joy. That is enough.
Did that work?
No, I thought my boots would touch. Then I saw Doc Little and If she could help her, no one could. She took over after that.
Did you by chance see Wolf at the crime?
I think he was running past as I approached with the king's men.
Objection! She's not answering the question.
Sustained. May I remind you again, stay on point and answer the question.
Let me think.
You can do this one,
Yeah. Maybe.
I'm done with this witness. It's obvious she's a dead spring, and nothing she says is rely on you! Freaking woman!
Miss Matlock, in my chambers now. I declare a 5-minute recess.
Well, that was an unexpected turn of events, as you saw. The godmother just attacked Miss Padlock, with her wand, and Judge Grimm has just called a 5-minute recess and an outburst of rage, and a very uncomfortable situation. Miss Padlock is coming out of the chambers. Now let's watch as the trial continues.
All rise.
Now, you may all take your seat. Miss Padlock, may I remind you that if you make so much more as one snide comment, I will hold you in contempt of court and fine you $1,000. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get it, I get it.
Now, Miss Payson, do you have any other witnesses left?
I've actually called the plaintiff. It's not here.
Raise your right hand. Raise your right leg.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the hard-boiled truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your name for the record.
Humpty or Dumpty.
Please state your full name for the record.
Do I have to, Judge?
I'm afraid so.
Grump. My full name is Humpty Grump Dumpty.
Miss Dumpty, you have led a hard life. Would you tell us about it?
I'm just a lonely egg, guys. Nobody cares that I cry. I sit on my wall, and I try not to fall as I watch the world go by. All the other eggs in the nest kicked me out in the cold. They said I'm not cool, that I'm only a fool. They're better than me, because they're gold. I like to wish, and I like to dream. I like to pretend that I'm king. The people bow down when I wear my crown. But never again shall I sing.
Miss Dumpty, you've led a hard life. You said you were turned out of the nest at an early age. You never knew your mother and sister, or mother?
No, Mother Goose was the one who took care of me.
You never knew your brothers and sisters?
Not really. Of all the eggs, Benedict, the oldest, is the only one I really remember. But he wasn't very nice to me. Like I said, it was a long time ago, and I was very young.
Miss Dumpty, where were you on the wall in the day in question?
At around 12 noon, I was sitting in my usual spot on the wall, next to the giant's castle.
Why would you want to sit on the wall in the hot sun?
I do it for relaxation and to be alone. I can catch some rays, get a tan, and I like to read a lot, especially my calculus, organic chemistry, trigonometry, and advanced industrial technology. I can see all sorts of things from the top of my wall. It's fun to watch the world go by. Besides, no one ever bothered me up there. Till now.
You say you like to be alone. Why is that?
When I was just a young egglet, all of the other kids would make fun of me. They would tease me about my size, my weight, even the books I like to read. When I would throw a birthday party, no one would come. And when I became a teenager, it was worse. The girls would laugh at me behind my shell, and the guys would play jokes on me.
Miss Donkey, you led a sad life. But did they accuse you of teasing?
Oh yes. I remember one time during geometry class, Percival, Benedict, and Brer Fox snuck up behind me and taped a sign to the back of my shell that said, "Beat me." People were pushing and shoving me all day, and I didn't know why. Another time, in gym class, they smeared bacon grease all over my tennis shoes. I was slipping and sliding all over the gym floor. I think they were trying to make me fall and break. But even though I was boiling inside, I refused to cry. I just tried to ignore them.
Miss Donkey, do you know why Mr. Wolf would bully you?
They just did it to be mean.
Your Honor, if this wolf could bully my client for no reason other than to be mean, he could have therefore pushed her off the wall for no other reason than to be mean. I have no further questions.
Miss Donkey, you've told the court that growing up you had no brothers or sisters. Is that right?
Yes.
But you mentioned your brother, Benedict.
Yes.
And you knew Benedict and the others were born gold.
Yes.
Do you know who your biological mother was?
Yes.
Was it Chicken Little?
No.
The Ugly Duckling?
No.
Then who was your biological mother?
Do I have to answer the question?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Goldie. Goldie the giant's goose. But I never really knew her. Like I said, I was raised by
No further questions.
You may take your seat, Miss Humpty. Now, was that your final witness, Miss Mason?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you ready for your first?
I call Sneezy Little to the stand.
Raise your right hand.
Sorry.
Bless you.
I have terrible allergies. Doc has me on medication, but it doesn't help much. I've tried stinging my nose, but that doesn't help either.
State your name for the record.
Sneezy Little.
So like that ditzy gal Wanda said, you were walking along the top of the wall.
Yes, me and my sister Doc walk along the wall to avoid the crowded streets below. Tall people can be quite rude, you know, and besides, it's fun to look down on people rather than up. Ask any dwarf.
And when you arrived at the scene, just what did you see?
We saw 12 maids dancing with the fairy godmother. 4 birds were calling from the wall as 3 French hens and 2 turtle doves were fighting, and in the middle of all this racket, there was a partridge squawking from the pear tree. It was a real circus.
Gesundheit! Geez, you really need something stronger than allergy medicine. Now, at any time, did you see my cousin near the wall?
I can't say I did.
And when you were at the top of the wall with your sister, you could see what was on both sides, yes? The front and the back.
Yes, we had a clear view of both sides of the wall for at least half a mile.
Then I'll ask you again. Did you at any time see my cousin, the accused, behind the wall?
Don't think so.
I have one more question for you, Sneezy. You've shown the court that you found one powerful sneezer there. Powerful enough, in fact, to, I don't know, maybe blow me halfway across the room.
Yeah, sorry about that. One time, one of my sneezes caused a cave in at the mine. No one was hurt, but Grumpy stayed mad at me for a year.
I want you to think very carefully about this sneezing. Were you sneezing on the day in question?
I sneeze all the time, every day.
Then is it possible that one of the vibrations from one of your sneezes could have caused the wall to shake, causing Miss Dumpty to lose her balance and fall?
I object, really, isn't this a bit far-fetched? Miss Pavlov's trying to put words in the witness's mouth.
Overruled. The witness has demonstrated the power behind her sneezes. It could have been possible. Please continue.
I guess it could have happened, but I don't think so.
I have no further questions. Your witness.
No questions at this time.
You may take your seat, Sneezy. Now, who is your next witness?
I call Sneezy's sister, Dr. D. Little, to the stand.
Raise your right hand, do you?
I do.
Pardon me, Doc, but I got this really bad shoulder pain. Take your husband and make it
Come on.
your name?
Dr. D. Little.
So, what's up, Doc? Been pretty busy lately, huh?
As a matter of fact, yes, managing two businesses at once isn't easy. I have to juggle my patients at the clinic at the same time I have to spend digging in the mines. This trial could not have come at a worse time.
Well, I'll get right to the questions then. When you first examined the plaintiff, what was your diagnosis?
Well, I believe she had 3 large posterior fractures, contusions around her eyes and face, a broken leg, and a broken arm. From where she landed, I would have said she fell feet first. She also let up you, but very little weight.
With 3 breaks to a shell, just how did you put it back together?
Well, it wasn't too difficult, really. I'm quite the brilliant surgeon. Besides, the bits of her shell were still intact. Had there been tiny bits of shell in her yolk, I don't think I could have saved her. Once we got her back to my clinic, we were able to perform reconstructive surgery. We did have to do yolk transfusions, though, 4 pounds of whole yolk.
So, in your opinion, Hump will survive?
Yes. She'll be splintered for a while and on a liquid diet, but in a couple months, she should be good as new.
You've testified that the eggshell broke in 3 places. I have here the picture of the back of an egg. I'd like you to draw exactly where these breaks occur.
Here on the right side, and her right leg, and her left arm. As you can see, they're very thin breaks.
Now, the prosecutor claims that this was the stick used to push Humpty off the wall. Did you find any crack, chip, puncture wound, anything that could match the end of this here stick?
No. There wasn't any evidence of kind of hole, dent, or even puncture in Humpty's shell.
Your Honor, I'm giving you this poster as evidence that the egg could not have been pushed from behind by this stick.
Let the record show this as Exhibit B. Please continue.
I have no further questions. Your witness.
Doctor, was it necessary to tighten Miss Humpty's yolk before the transfusion?
Yes, we have to have the exact yolk type or the egg gets onto the toxic rot, causing him or her to stink and become rotten.
What exactly was Miss Humpty's yolk type?
Well, I believe it was type Q.
A fairly rare type. We were lucky the local yoke maker just had yoke there. We had enough on hands. Your Honor, I also have the lab turning the yoke type found here on the stick. It matches that of the accused. I maintain that somehow this stick came into contact with my client used as a weapon against her. I have no further questions.
You may take your seat, Doc. Do you have your next witness prepared?
I call Horsey S. Wolf to the stand.
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I would be happy to.
Your name, sir?
Percival Smedley Wolf.
So, Horsey, prosecutor claims that you have quite a dark past. Convictions of burglary, destruction of private property, assuming false identities, stealing goodies from young girls, and mugging a young man named Peter. Is that true?
Yes, I'm ashamed to say.
And did you mercilessly tease Humpty Dumpty as she claimed you did?
Yes, all of it is true. At the time, I took great pleasure in inflicting torment on those less fortunate than I.
Tell us about your child.
I was born to very wealthy parents. My father was CEO of one of the largest businesses in La La Land. My mother was daughter of one of the richest tycoons in business. I had everything I always wanted. Toys, cars, clothes, grills, video games, CD players, and plenty of goodies anytime I wanted them. The only thing I lacked was love. You see, my father was always too busy counting his riches to notice me. He barely knew I existed. I guess, to get the attention I craved, I acted out by bullying others like Humpty and Dorky Pig and his brothers. In high school, I hung out with a bad crowd. Got me into stealing, vandalism. I'm not trying to excuse my actions. I'm responsible for everything. I was convicted and spent 10 years in prison. I've repaid my debt to society for all the awful crimes I've committed.
And now, what do you do now?
I'm reformed. I finished my education with a degree in business. All I've ever wanted is a second chance to make good at life. I even started my own support group for former convicts like me. It's called BA and is all anonymous.
B.A.?
Bad Guys Anonymous.
And, Horsey, did you, as the prosecutor claims, push Humpty Dumpty off the wall?
No, I did not.
Tell us about that fateful day as you remember.
It started out my usual day. Went to work about 8 a.m., worked until 11:45. Now, usually I would eat lunch in the employees' cafeteria, but seeing as it was such a sunny day, I decided to take my lunch to the park.
And which park was that?
The one just outside Sherwood Forest. It's only about 10 minutes from where I work.
And go on.
Well, I decided to take a shortcut through Wall Street. As I approached the wall, I could see the King's men practicing their drills a short distance away, and the pig and the goose near the pear tree.
Then what happened?
Well, as I reached the pear tree, I saw this movement atop the wall. Next thing I knew, the pig was flattened and Mr. Dumpty was all over the sidewalk.
What did you do next?
Well, the goose was honking hysterically. The pig was out cold. I didn't know if they were dead or alive, so I picked up a stick that was lying on the ground, poked the egg of it. You know, tried to get her to move.
Then what happened?
Well, all the goose's honking brought the King's men on the run. I knew if they recognized me, they wouldn't believe a word I said. Would never believe I was innocent. So I dropped the stick and ran.
Aren't you aware that running from a potential crime scene could be a crime?
Of course, but I was scared. You see, they would never believe me if I told them I was innocent. Once a big bad wolf, always a big bad wolf. Nobody likes to give you a second chance, especially the cops.
Your Honor, I think it's pretty clear that my cousin here, who is now reformed, was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time. I have no further questions. Your witness.
Mr. Wolf, what do you have for breakfast today?
Bacon and eggs.
And yesterday?
Bacon and eggs.
And the day before that?
I object. She keeps repeating herself. She's wasting all our time.
Sustained. Please get on with it, Miss Pixie.
Mr. Wolf, what did you have for breakfast today?
Bacon and eggs. I've had bacon and eggs every day since I was 2.
Your Honor, picture this if you will. Here comes Mr. Wolf walking along right around lunchtime. It's hot out, he's hungry, and then he sees the egg on the wall and the pig walking underneath. He starts getting hunger pains, his mouth starts drooling, as he pictures his favorite food, bacon and eggs. He goes up, grabs a stick, and then he starts pushing and prodding at my client until she falls off the wall, landing on the pig. You see, I believe that Wolf was just looking to make a quick omelet.
You're wrong. Wrong, I say. I'm innocent. Innocent. Plus, I was on my way to lunch, not breakfast.
Order! It is up to the jury to decide if you are guilty or innocent, Mr. Wolf. Please take your seat. Now, Miss Padlock, where is your next witness?
I call Goldie Goose to the stand.
Do you swear to
Yes, you Minnie. It's about time you got to me. I'm not used to waiting in line for anything.
Your name?
Why, Mr. Pete, we already know. This is so corny.
State your full name for the record like the bailiff asked.
Oh, very well. My name is Goldie Goose.
So, Gold.
Excuse you. Only my friends call me Goldie. You, ma'am, may call me Madame Goose.
Well, Madame Goose, where do you live?
I live at the Giant's Castle on Wall Street.
And what exactly do you do there?
Giant forced me to lay his golden eggs, count his gold, keep the books, manage the servants, and run his household. I have quite a lot of responsibility.
So, judging by all those jewels there, you must make a lot of money. What now? $10, $12 an hour?
Actually, I get paid by the dozen. The more golden eggs I lay, the more money I get.
Okay, well, are your eggs always made of gold?
Occasionally, I lay great eggs, silver, or bronze. Sometimes I lay jumbo platinum. Then Giant gives me a sizable bonus. I do produce the highest quality eggs.
Well, in, I don't know, let's say a dozen or so, do you ever find one normal egg?
Yes, but it doesn't happen very often. Only 4 or 5 times in the last 20 years.
And when you find one of these low-quality eggs, what do you do with it?
It depends. Sometimes I throw it away, sometimes I just feed them to the dogs.
So you mean you abandon them?
I suppose you could say that.
Well, Miss Dumpty says that she was separated from her nest at an early age and taken in by Mother Goose. She also says that you, Goldie, were her biological mother. What do you say to that?
Yes, it's true. I remember her quite well. she was definitely the loser of that particular dozen. Since she was assigned to low grade, she definitely had no business being with the others at the castle.
So you did actually abandon her?
Hardly. I made engagement to Old Mother Goose. Her eggs had already flown and left. Since she only needed the companionship, and knew she would take her in and do what she could. Then a grateful wretch and happy and brought her feet to the giant for breakfast.
Now, Madame, several witnesses have said that you were at the wall on the 27th.
Yes, every Wednesday at precisely noon, I walked by the bridge on my way to deposit the giant's gold. Then, for lunch, I go and meet the Gatesford Bridge Club.
And where exactly were you standing when the egg fell?
Let's see, I believe I was next to a pig. In fact, some of the yolk set all over my new dress. It was a man's original, and made super damages before this is all over.
No further questions. Your witness.
I have only one question for the goose. Madam Goose, did you by chance see Wolf poke the egg after he fell?
Listen, Madame, I was honking because of the mess that egg made on my dress. I wasn't paying attention to what he did with any stick. Besides, why would I pay attention to the likes of him?
Your Honor, there is no one able to testify that Wolf poked the egg after she fell. I have no further questions.
You may take your seat, Goldie. Miss Pablo, do you have your next witness?
1 second. I want to talk to the egg again. Miss Dumpty, you've testified that you've known all these years that Goldie was your biological mother, yes?
Yes.
That must have been very hard for you, being separated from the nest at such an early age to go live with that poor, lonely old woman.
Yes, it was.
But Mother Goose always tried to do her best for you, didn't she?
Yes, she was very kind.
But she was also quite poor, wasn't she?
Yes.
You only wore second-hand clothes. You never had fancy toys or expensive parties like your brothers and sisters did at the castle.
That's right. They were spoiled rotten. A bunch of rich snobs just because they were born gold.
Did you ever resent the fact that they could have riches and status and you could not?
Sure, wouldn't you? All that wealth and attention was just as much my birthright as it was theirs.
Miss Dumpty, would you tell the court where you were living when you turned 18?
Oh, I don't know. With Mother Goose, I'm sure.
Oh, really? Because I have here a file, your file, from Happy Valley Home for the unusually psychotic. It says here that you were admitted for 1 year on the recommendation of a county psychiatrist. It also says that you were admitted because you were a social outcast suffering from severe psychosis caused by resentment towards your mother and everything in life you could not have. This led to fits of rage which frightened dear old Mother Goose, who always tried to do her best.
So what? That was a long time ago.
Miss Dumpty, in reality, your time spent on the wall was not for reading or relaxation, but for spying on the giant's castle.
No.
Were you not watching every Wednesday as your mother would make her way to the bank at 12 noon?
No.
Were you not sitting there plotting your revenge?
No.
Miss Dumpty, in reality, you were not pushed off the wall by my cousin or anyone else. You jumped! You jumped right as Goldie went underfoot, but your plan went wrong, and you landed on the pig instead. And when you saw my cousin
to determine Goldie's Wednesday routine. Yes, I tried to find her by jumping off the wall. She is a selfish, horrible goose. Money is power, and if she hadn't kicked me out of that nest, I would be rich and powerful today. Yes, I wanted my revenge, and I would have had it too, if not for that dark getting in the way.
In light of the exit mission, I declare this a mistrial. Percival S. Wolf, you are free to go. Bailiff, take the egg away. I declare this court adjourned.
Well, in another unexpected turn of events, Mr. Wolf has just been let free, and as it looks to be, Miss Dumpty has been hauled downtown for the attempted murder of Goldie Goose. Was Geraldo Cameron, your host, for the Outside Edition!